Guys, what's up? Wagwan, wagwan. Yeah, man, me there in the backyard just a go and chill. You know what I mean? Yes, I enjoy some victory. You know what I mean? With a smile on my face and all of that. You know? Football is back and it's back in full flow. You know what I mean? And today, I'm just chilling. Watching the kids running around, enjoying themselves. This one making a lot of noise. I'm here. Put on that gun. Why are you making so much noise? I'm trying to talk football here. Yeah, Arsenal just won, and we are up and running, guys. Up and running. That's 2-2. 2-2. Yes, that's 6 points, 6 goals. Yes, we are out and about. You know what I mean? It's been a productive week for the Gunners, not so much for a lot of the other teams. You know, yeah, this football season seems to be crazy. Yeah, man, this football season seems to be crazy. There's a lot of things going on. You know what I mean? This season gonna be rough. Nobody ain't taking no prisoners. Mm-mm. No prisoners. You know what I mean? Because every man got to stand on their own 2 feet. You know, the underdogs are coming for your 3 points. Can you imagine that? You sitting there feeling like, I bet when you look at the games all season, like the whole 38 games and so forth, you're probably going to be like, okay, I'm going to win that, probably get a draw there. You know what I mean? You analyze everything and just look and just say, yo, yeah, you know? And then, boom, only the underdog team that just came up from the championship take their 3 points and smile at you. You understand what I'm saying? And you're like, wow, I forget that this league was brutal. You know what I mean? That's the Premier League this season. It's been crazy. It's been a fast 2 weeks. Very, very fast. You know? And I'm liking it. You know what I mean? We know that this season was gonna be rough. We know that this season was gonna be really, really something. You get me? So it's not a situation where we weren't looking forward to knowing that some tough games was going to be played. You get me? We knew that some tough game was going to be played. So there has been some tough games played. You get me? So it's just crazy. Um, Looking at them other teams and realizing that it is what it is. You get me, guys? Yeah. So about the league, guys, about the beginning and all of that. You know what I mean? It's been it's been a perfect it's been a perfect 2 games for Arsenal. You know what I mean? Not so much for some of the other rivals. You know what I mean? Well, the neighbors are there too. They had what, 2 winning 2. You know what I mean? Top of the league, Tottenham. Can you believe that? Tottenham almost got relegated, guys. Tottenham was fighting a relegation battle, and after 2 games, now they're sitting at the top of the league, 2-2. Can you imagine that? From 0 to 0, Tottenham is now 6 points. 6 points. Hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean? They beat Manchester City. I was gonna say they got a 2 soft team, but they actually didn't. They beat Manchester City and they beat them convincingly. You know what I mean? It was a good victory for them. Manchester City got whooped by Tottenham, and you ain't going around that. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, it's the it's probably one of the first games I've seen Tottenham win that I enjoyed. I don't particularly like Manchester City. You get what I'm saying? No, I don't particularly like Manchester City, and that's a fact. It is what it is. You get me? I don't like Tottenham at all. But, you know, yeah. Um, Man United. Manchester United. Wow. Manchester United. What can I say about Manchester United? I don't even know. I don't even know, guys. You know what I mean? Here they were today against a Fulham team. You know what I mean? And the one goal that they scored was a own goal. You hear where I'm coming from? It was a own goal. You know what I mean? And remember now, Manchester United is considered one of the big six. You know what I mean, I don't think they came in the top six for the past 2 seasons or so. So I don't know what that is about. I don't know what that is about. You know what I mean? Crystal Palace played again today. I know I was watching that game, but I also forget the result. I think that game drew. I don't remember. You know, but I'm really here to talk about Arsenal business. You know what I mean? And we leaving from mediocre to where we are now. Because last season we were okay. You know what I mean? Just okay. You get what I'm saying? We didn't have enough depth and strength to really compete, because that's shown. I use the word compete because the competition is long. You know what I mean? And we couldn't compete. You know what I mean? Pretty much we run out of steam. And if you run out of steam, that means you lack something, right? Because we lack players, we lack depth. You know what I mean? And when this transfer window started, you know what I mean, we were excited. You know what I mean? We got in Supermende, which we know was going to come from a long time. You know what I mean? Excited. We lose a couple players in terms of Thomas Partey and Jorginho. You know what I mean? We replaced with Zubamende. And then we replaced with Norgard. You know what I mean? So we're like, okay, guess what? Like for like. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Then we went and we got Madueke. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? Really? You know what I mean? Yeah, there's a talent there somewhere, wrapped up in somewhere, you know what I mean? That you're going to have to pull off a lot of clots and a lot of things to find it. Do we have time for that? That's in my head. You know what I mean? And all of that. After we went and we got Masquero. Cool, not a talent. But at least we all understand that one. We see it, we like it. You know what I mean? The one that we all was waiting for, we've waited a long time for that one. Victor Gyökeres. You know what I mean? We waited. You know what I mean? The boy showed his toys out the pram and all. You know what I mean? Just to tell them that you want milk. The milk is Arsenal. You know what I mean? I need to go. Just go. They wouldn't listen. He had to go and strike and all of that just to get his move. Finally, we came to agreement, some understanding. Victor Gyökeres is now an Arsenal player. You know what I mean? And all of that. So transfer window was looking good. You know what I mean? As every Arsenal fan would tell you, we ain't lying, we ain't sugarcoating nothing. Transfer window was looking good for us, except for the Madueke signing, because we weren't really feeling that signing. You get me? And all of that. You know what I mean? All right, transfer is done. We think we got enough players to balance the team, because Saka didn't have a backup. Madueke was there. But we looking at Saka as high-end man. You know what I mean? Saka gonna be fit for the whole season, so where are you gonna play? You know what I mean? That's it. That's what we have in our brain. Where are you going to play? Saka ain't going nowhere. Where he going to play? You know what I mean? Ethan just signed a new contract. So Ethan probably going to swing from the middle to the right. You get what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Where are you going to play? All of that. There was one signing on everybody's lips. You know what I mean? The Arsenal board and Arsenal teams they were ignoring. I don't know why. You know what I mean? Why were they ignoring this signing that every Arsenal fan, leave that door, every Arsenal fan was crying out for, was begging them to bring this kid home? When the prodigal son is out there, and this prodigal son is different, he went out and he got all the experience. It's not in like the prodigal son. Y'all know the story of the prodigal son, right? The prodigal son, he went out, he squandered all his money and all of that. And all of that, right? This prodigal son, he went out and he got rich in talent, you know what I mean? And he wants to come home to show off his talent. Why don't you bring home this kid. We were lost. We got confused. We were wondering what's going on. Why? You know what I mean? All right. He's an Arsenal bred born. He's an Arsenal everything. He eats, he sleeps, he dreams Arsenal. And he's a talent. Why don't you guys bring him home? Arsenal board and Arsenal was ignoring this kid, ignoring our call, ignoring our cry. You know what I mean? Tottenham was linked with him. Tottenham had an agreement with him. Tottenham was going to sign him. You know what I mean? We all gave up. You know what I mean? Because now we're looking at the strength that Tottenham going to possess. And trust me, that's some strength. If Tottenham got that player, that would have been a strong Tottenham team. Because that's some creativity that they don't have. We're there listening, waiting for the announcement that Tottenham has signed.
Nanny.
When it flipped, and instead of hearing an announcement that Tottenham has signed this player, we hear an announcement that Arsenal is in for this player. We're like, hold on, what's going on? What is going on? So we keep on following that news because that's the news that we want to hear. You know what I mean? Those reports are running everywhere. You know what I mean? Unseen break hit. Fabrizio followed it up. And it was all going crazy. You know what I mean? In the evening only to hear that there is an agreement. Here we go. I mean, like, I almost run it up. I almost run. I'm like, what the? Yo. Everybody was saying, yo, Jack, ice, steal of the century. No, y'all giving Tottenham too much credit, bro. Remember this. This kid didn't want to go nowhere else but Arsenal. When I listened to this kid interview, this kid said he came to the Emirates to play for 4 years, right? And every time he come to the Emirates to play, it was an audition. You know what I mean? It was something. That's something. Every time he comes to the Emirates to play, he was auditioning because he wants to come home. He wants to show them who he is, how much he has grown. All at that. He's trying to make them understand I'm ready to come home. You know what I mean? And this is how it went down. On the final day, he called Mikel Arteta. He said to Mikel Arteta, in Jamaica, let me talk to you, real. He said to Mikel Arteta, yo, you messer, man. I know I'm running out of time. You know what I mean? Tottenham want me to sign today. Come on, man. You guys can't do nothing? You guys don't want me? Arteta said to him, yo, hang tight. I'll short your back. Give me a few. You understand? Arteta goes to bop and shout back the G. And the G goes to bop and, yo, get the news. Arteta say, yo, dude, we got you. You're going to be a gunner. Because just imagine the G pick up at the phone and call the people over there and say, yo, me not come. Me not come. No way. Yo. Yes, you know what I mean? And that was the story about that. You know what I mean? And just like that, today is Sunday. And just like that, we're easy on this Sunday evening. Yeah, man. Eberechi Eze are signing that every single Arsenal fan, every Arsenal fan is waiting for. And guess what people gonna say? Where you gonna play? Where you going this? Where you going that? Man don't care which part he wanna play. If you put him in the goal in going there, he just want to put on an Arsenal shirt, he go out on the field, and those are the kind of players that we want. That's what we're looking for. You get what I say? That's what we're looking for. You know? So, you know what I mean, guys? That's what we're looking for. Chilling with little man. You know what I mean? Say hi, little man.
Hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
You know what I mean? Me and little man chilling. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Hopefully one future Arsenal baller, don't. Yeah. So just like that, the thing turn up. You know what I mean? We got some devastating news that we saw it. We saw. We ain't got it. We saw Bakaya Saka, and Martin Odegaard came off injured. And then all of a sudden, the Madueke signing just looked like a genius signing. Can you imagine that? It looks like a genius signing just like that. But now, we have a replacement for Bakaya Saka. Just like that. You know what I mean? The signing that we all was devastated about. Now we're looking forward to it. So, yeah, we've been we've been growing for a while now. We've been rebuilding. We've been coming, you know what I mean? And I think, guys, this year is a year that we're becoming a man. You know what I mean? Arsenal team is coming into full fruition this season. You know what I mean? After all that we've been through, you know what I mean? After all the learning process that we've done a lot of learning process. We have to grow. We have to learn on the job. You know what I mean? Because people tend to forget that Mikel Arteta is still a young coach, you know. You know what I mean? So he has to learn on the job. Some stubbornness that he brings to this game, you know what I mean? Not wanting to change players, you know what I mean? Not wanting to change and adapt his different system. There's a lot that he brings that needs to adjust. You know what I mean? For the first time yesterday, Mikel Arteta made about 5 changes in a game, I think. I don't think he ever made so much change in a professional game. I'm not talking about um, preseason. You know what I mean? He's never made so much change because he didn't have players that he trusts to do all of that change. You know? And when you can bring on a 15-year-old, you know what I mean, that's confident. You know what I mean? You have a team now that is different. You know what I mean? And that's the limelight of the whole situation. You have a team that is different. You get me? And being that the team that is different, you know what I mean, you can trust a little bit more. And that's what we've been wanting. Him to have this team that he can trust. You know what I mean? Because we can there's so much even to talk about the game. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that our players that got injured were happy with it or anything like that. You know what I mean? But you get to realize certain things when certain things happen. You know what I mean? For instance, let's use Ethan Wanera, for example. When Martin Odegaard got injured and Ethan Wanera came on, the game changed again. The game changed to me. Because now, because Ethan Wanera is so much of a forward thinker, you know what I mean? And then is not the player that just looks at the right hand side where Bakaya Saka is. You know what I'm saying? The ball started spreading a bit more. So it was more. You know what I mean? It was like an all-rounded attack. They were getting attacked from everywhere now. You get what I'm saying? So it's just a whole different scenario when Ethan Waneri, when Saka went off injured, and we had to move Madueke over to the right. We really saw a different type of Madueke as well. You know what I mean? That's the best that I've ever seen Madueke play for that, 15, 20 minutes that he was up. He didn't get so much because we subbed him. You know what I mean? I think he was over there for probably 10 minutes. You know what I mean? That's the best that I've seen him playing in Arsenal shirt, even though we ain't seen much yet. But at least we saw what he was about. You get what I'm saying? And it looks excited. You know what I mean? It looked excited. You know what I mean? And Martin Odegaard being injured. You know what I mean? We have Ethan Waneri. You know what I mean? Hopefully, I pray, fingers crossed, guys. It's not long-term injury for none of them. We need our best players. And those are two of our best players. You know what I mean? But we have Ethan Waneri can replace Odegaard for some games. We have now Madueke can replace Saka for some games. We look balanced. When Saka got injured, it was Ethan replacing him, playing out of position. We weren't balanced. You see what that is? It was not a balanced team. Now it's different. It's totally different now. You know what I mean? We have two capable goalkeepers. Everybody else around, Manchester United, Newcastle, you know what I mean? Scrapping for goalkeeper. We have two number one goalkeepers. Because Kepa could have gone into more than half of the Premier League team as a starting goalkeeper. We have him on the bench. He ain't seen no game yet. You understand what I'm saying? He ain't seen no game yet. Martinelli didn't come off the bench at all yesterday. At all. Yeah, some players that haven't seen the bench yet. Some players haven't seen the bench yet. You know what I mean? So we're talking about Arsenal with a lovely squad right now. You know what I mean? Can rotate perfectly. You know what I mean? And still should be able to still produce and get the result that we need. You get what I'm saying, guys? It's looking lovely for us right now. We haven't seen an Arsenal team like this in a long time. In a long time. If we start a starting level and we make a sub, it's going to be somebody that's going to give a lot of problems to the oppositions. And that's what we've been craving for. We've been craving for that kind of team. The one that persons have to fight for their position, because that's the situation now with the teams. You have to fight for what? You have to fight to play. You know what I mean? Eze is in the team now, right? We just signed Eze for 67, 69, somewhere there, $67 million. We ain't signing Eze to put on no bench. Eze is a winner. He showed that Eze is a baller. People gonna ask, where is he gonna play? Where is he gonna play? Does he look like he cares where he plays? Guys, answer me this. Does Eze look like someone that cares where he plays in this Arsenal team? Because if he did, he wouldn't sign for Arsenal. He was a guaranteed starter over Tottenham. Guaranteed. There's nothing could have kept Eze out of the starting level over Tottenham. Nothing. He didn't choose them. I watched a clip with him when someone asked him, Eze, you gonna sign for Tottenham? I mean, like, that face alone almost tell that guy about his parents. I think that's what he did in his mind. You understand what I'm saying? That's no joke. If he had to, he would. That's why he made the call. You know what I mean? Because guess what? As a professional footballer, you still got to work. You know what I mean? And if Tottenham was where he need to move up, you know what I mean? That was his final call, and then his dreams for playing for Arsenal would have been shattered. That's a fact. You know what I mean? But, you know, God works in mysterious ways. You know what I mean? And God have a way. God, you know, sometimes I remember when I was growing up, I grew up in church. You know what I mean? And sometimes some people would look at you and say, hey, God have a sense of humor too, you know. Yeah, man, God have a sense of humor too. You know, this kid went all around the world just to come back right at Arsenal. He went all around the world to become the baller that he is, just to come back at Arsenal. And that's where he wanted to end up. 5 years contract. He's 27 years old. So he'll be at Arsenal until he's 32. Hopefully he's at his top of his game, playing good football, and they give him another year or two. Hopefully he retires at Arsenal, playing the best football of his life. That's my wish for him. You know what I mean? Beautiful soul. When you listen to him talk, when you hear him, you know what I mean? Beautiful soul, jovial youth. You get me? Yeah, man, jovial youth. You know, and I wish him all the best in Arsenal shirt. All the best. You know what I mean? Big up yourself on the move again, Eze. Congratulations. And I know you're going to put smiles on our face. Because we've been watching you putting smiles on our face, not in our colors. So I'm expecting you to put smiles on our face, in our colors. You know what I mean? I know you got this. You know? So, yeah, guys. You know? Just wanted to touch base. Make y'all know. You know what I mean? Riley's World is still here. Riley's World is here to stay. You get me? So, yeah, man. Keep on tuning in. Hit that notification button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Comment, like, share. Do all of them goodies. You know what I mean? Help us to grow this page. Help us to grow this channel. You know what I mean? Because it's Riley's World. You know what I mean? That means I'm talking for y'all. I'm bringing y'all talk to the streets. You get what I'm saying? I'm your voice. People can't hear you, they'll hear you through me. You know what I mean? We're going to talk what the streets are talk. That's what we're going to do. You get me? Yeah. We're looking forward to the next games for Arsenal. We're looking forward to the next match. You see, night I come down. Night I come down. What I do me there? What I do me there? Just easy like Sunday. The whole Sunday, me just say what I do. Easy like Sunday. It's a Sunday morning, but no evening. Easy like Sunday evening. Just I go and chill and I go and build. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Manchester United lose again. Well, actually, them draw this time, but no make no difference. You know what I mean? That put a smile on my face. The only thing that make me day even better if Tottenham they lose, but them win. Whatever. You know what I mean? Liverpool lose, so that would even make it better. Chelsea lose, you know what I mean? They would have get even better. But it is what it is. Mm. We're going to take what we get, work on what we have, and move forward. So we get me? That is it. And yes, that is it for me right now. Thank you for tuning into Riley's World. Like and subscribe to the channel, guys. Thank you, guys. Yo, peace.